What is up guys, and welcome back to SP Vids. On this video I'm on the SP303, and what I want to show you guys in this video is the Vinyl Sim effect on this device, and in particular the Vinyl Sim Compressor, because that's quite a legendary effect on this device. So for those of you who haven't got an SP303 and you may be thinking about it, I've seen this a lot, that people want to know what the Vinyl Sim Compressor sounds like. So yeah, I thought I'd just do a little video about it. And I'm actually using Ableton for the beat on this one. I've made a little loop and I've done some chops so that I can just run that into this device and I can apply the Vinyl Sim to that signal, and it's just a lot easier for me to do the recording for this one. So yeah, I'm having to use my H5 because I usually record into Ableton for my videos, but because the sound is coming from Ableton, it's not possible. So yeah, I hope the audio quality is okay for this video, guys. So yeah, as I say, I've chopped up a record that Dilla's sampled before. For all the channel members, I'll post a link to this sample for you guys so you can have a play around with it. If you're interested in joining SP Vids, check out the link in the description of this video. So yeah, I've got a drum loop, I've got the samples, and I'm going to use external source, and I'm going to make sure that the effect is going to be applied to external source. I'm going to hit remain, and yeah, that's lighting up, so it's all good. We're ready to go with that one. And let's have a listen to the drums. And just quickly as well, before I go into the rest of the video, those drums are from Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3, which is now available on spvids.com. Really excited to get a new pack out. It's been a while actually. So yeah, go over to SP Vids and check that out if you want to support me. And again, members, I'll be dropping a discount code for you guys as well, so you can pick that up at a lower price. So yeah, that's the drum loop I've got set up, something very simple. Nice feel to the hi-hats. And here's some chops. So I'm just jamming those on my keyboard over here, using my keyboard as a MIDI controller, which is a bit crazy, but yeah, it's doing the job for now. So let's talk about the Vinyl Sim and the compressor. So we hit Vinyl Sim. The left-hand dial is the compressor. As you can see when I'm moving that, CNP comes up. That is just an M, but they can't put the little line in the middle, so that is actually compressor. The middle dial is noise, which is nicely demonstrated with No 5. And the noise on this device is actually quite nice, actually, the noise generator. It sounds a lot more like vinyl. The later models, I tend to find that they're more of a noise generator, if that makes sense. It just makes noise, not really vinyl sound. But this actually tries to emulate vinyl noise a little bit more. And you get the crackle and the kind of hum as well, which is quite nice. And then you've got flutter at the end. The flutter on the SP303 is pretty crazy actually, so I tend to not use it very much, to be honest. I think that's where there has been a big improvement in the MFXs moving up to the 404SX and the A. The flutter is a lot nicer and adds a really nice effect to the sample. On this one, it kind of detunes the sample quite heavily in a sort of slow pattern, which I don't really like. I don't think it adds a very nice vibe to the samples really, so use that sparingly is my advice, or not at all. But yeah, let's get on to the compressor, which is the main thing about this. So you've got your 20 effects listed here. As you can see, number 12 is compressor. So there is the compressor on here as well. And the 12 compression, that actually sounds a lot more like what you get on the SP404SX and the SP404A. There's not really a massive difference between those two, I don't think. But the Vinyl Sim compressor is, for some reason, just sounds a lot buttery, a lot smoother, and yeah, it's just really nice and usable. So let's put it on. Let's crank this compression up and let's run this beat through it and let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so that's it with it on. I'll turn it off and on again during the loop this time so you can see the difference. Okay, so I should point out that I am using a little bit of sidechain compression in Ableton, so the sample is dipping just as the kick's hitting, And also I've put a fade on the start of those samples, those sample chops as well, just to try and cut out some of the drums in the original track. So there is a little bit of compressor in Ableton, just dip in the sample so that you can hear that kick cutting through the mix. But the rest of the work is being done by the Vinyl Sim Compressor, and as you can see, it really pulls the beat together and just sounds awesome, sounds really nice. So what I'll do now is show you an example with the Vinyl Sim set to full. It's an extreme example obviously, and it might not be something that I do for a final beat, but I just want to show you like the full potential of this compressor. So let's get this going again. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, it just adds a really nice buttery feel to the beat there, and it's just pulling everything together so nicely. Another thing that I should mention is I did experiment with the volume of the drums and the volume of the sample in Ableton as well before sending it to this device. I tend to find that dropping the samples down a little bit and letting the compressor here bring those up into the mix, that's really how you get a nice sound out of the compressor, in my opinion. You can try other methods as well, just be careful that the compressor doesn't bring up the volume of the drums too much. I brought down the snare and the hi-hat a little bit. I always tend to like my hi-hats to be low in the mix anyway, but I did have to bring the snare down a bit as well because it was cutting through the mix far too much. So yeah, experiment around with the levels with this and see how you can get the best sound out of the compressor. But with the samples quite low and the drums quite high, and then letting the Vinyl Sim Compressor do the grunt work, I find that's where the butter comes in with this device, and it does sound incredible. It's probably one of my favourite compressors out of the 3 or 4 devices that I've got. I mean, I've got this, the SP304 and the SP555, sorry. So another 2 devices that have both got compressors. But yeah, they don't compare to that one as well, I don't think. So I hope that was useful for you guys. As I said, members, I'll drop the sample for you, and I'll drop the discount code for my new sample pack as well. If you could go to spvids.com and check out that sample pack, I would really appreciate that, guys. I think the drums sound really nice in this one, and there's loads of other sounds in there as well. There's rapper noises, there's noises that I've recorded with my H5, there's textures, all sorts of stuff in there to add to your lo-fi beat making workflow. So yeah, please go over and check that out, and I hope that you found this information useful. If there's any other questions you've got about the Vinyl Sim and the compression, then please let me know in the comments below and I'll gladly answer those questions for you. So yeah, I hope this information was genuinely useful for you guys, especially those of you that haven't got an SP303 yet. You probably want to know what that sounds like. For those of you that have already got one, hopefully it gave you a bit more inspiration to use it in a different way maybe, or something like that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Keep making beats, and I'll be back with more content soon. Peace!